So, in the past, you've said that you chose to participate in Scribble Jam because it was a business plan and not a love for battling.
Right.
Right. Do you agree with what Mickey Factz said, that Eminem was not, I repeat, not a battle rapper? He was an underground artist who participated in rap competitions. Battle rappers take weeks and months to prepare for their opponent. Battle rappers were birthed at Mook versus Lux. MCs before that freestyled or wanted music careers.
Mickey Factz is a cool guy, very creative, has a lot of good opinions, good songs. I'm not quite following that logic. In terms of how written battles function now, what he's talking about, Mook versus Lux, very important battle. But the culture of battle rap now, the written battles, the where the game is now, King of the Dot, URL, all the leagues that exist now with written battles, that was just the evolution of freestyle battles. And there was a time, and I would push back on what Mickey Factz is saying, because there was a time when Juice and Supernatural was the biggest battle that everybody wanted to see. Juice versus Supernatural, the Wake Up Show threw it, that had big flyers and posters, and they promoted it, and it was this huge deal. And it was in the format of freestyle battling. There was a time when freestyle battling was the only way that you would ever battle anybody. You weren't respected if you couldn't come off the top, if you couldn't rap off the top. And I know that, like, in certain parts of the world, there would be rappers that would battle on the block, and they would use like written battles and mix it in. But the idea of a purely premeditated battle where you knew your opponent beforehand and you wrote out all of your rhymes and you came there with everything that you're going to say loaded into your head, ready to go, that came from freestyle battling. That didn't just grow out of nothing. Like, there was not like whoever thought of that, like Lux and Mook, like, it's not like they had no idea that freestyle battles existed. They just thought of a better way of doing it. That was a more efficient, more entertaining way of doing it. And that's the reason it caught on, and freestyle battling kind of died off at the same time. The emergence of written leagues kind of taught us this is better when people know what they're going to say before they show up, and they know who their opponent is going to be, and they treat it like a boxing match or an MMA fight, and it's a fight, and you're showing up ready to fight, and it's a jousting match against somebody, instead of doing this tournament format where you battle 7 fucking rappers off the top of your head, freestyling and making it, the crowd suffers watching this shit. They don't want to see it. We're actually going to sell this as a fight where it's there's a card, and we're going to do it that way. And that was evolution. That was us as a culture realizing there's a better way of doing this. And written battles have their own problems. Don't get me wrong. There's certain things that I hate about written battles, but to me, it's just part of the evolution. Eminem was around in a time written battles weren't a thing. There wasn't a written battle league. There wasn't Lux versus Mook at the time. That's not what people were doing. Eminem signed up for Scribble Jam. Yeah, sure. Probably to get promotion, same way I did. You're sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm going to try to get as much notoriety off of this as possible, and hopefully I can translate it into record sales, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you still knew you were showing up and battling, and you needed to rap, and it was to a beat that you didn't know was going to be played against an opponent that you didn't know that you were going to face. And Eminem had to do that. And he mixed in a lot of written rhymes and shit like that. But at the same time, he's still showing up on these stages battling. And to me, it just speaks to this whole evolution of battle rap culture. But at the end of the day, it still comes from what we were doing in Scribble Jam and going off the top of the head and freestyling. And it just evolved and got better and better and better and became what it is now.
I think what Mickey is trying to say, though, is that because rappers before still had the intention of wanting to get signed and make music, versus now some people have the intention of, I just want to become a battle rapper and this is my actual career.
Like the career is to become a battle rapper. And Mickey is saying that like back in the days, Eminem was battling because he wanted to find a record deal, whereas now people are literally just trying to be great at battling and they don't even care about music. They don't care about the record sales or anything like that. It's literally, I want to go and win this battle and be known as a battle rapper. Like some of the guys now, like Easy, whatever the fuck his name is,
Easy the Block Captain,
Easy the Block Captain, and Cassidy had their controversy the other day. But like somebody like Easy the Black Captain is like, it's not even about the music. It's not about a record deal. It's literally about being known as a great battle. Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, sure. But again, this would also, to me though, to push back, and I think that there is a point, that a resounding point there that Mickey is making. But to me, in the days of Scribble Jam and freestyle battling, you didn't have people that would ever consider, I want to be a battle. There was no money in battle rapping. There was no career that you could make. There weren't YouTube channels. There weren't rap leagues. Scribble Jam was one event that would happen once a year. The Rap Olympics, one event that would happen once a year. These battles were like a novelty event. You didn't have anybody that sat down and said, yo, what if we run this like it's a fucking fight promotion and we have a roster of people that regularly battle and we throw battles? Like, that just wasn't a thing yet. So again, it speaks to the evolution. And the other thing that I'll say is there's still a lot of battle rappers today that would like to become professional musicians, and they do make music. Not all of them. There's certainly tons of them that I do think that they come up watching battles. They learn how to write these 8-minute rounds against their opponent, and they learn how to battle. All they care about is battling. I think that exists now for sure, but it exists because of what battling was before. It's all part of the evolution. And that was just unheard of. If you went back to Scribble Jam in 2001, or any battle rather in the 90s, and you were like, yo, you should be a professional battle rapper, that would be like, what are you talking about? That's not even a thing that could possibly exist. Okay, against who and when and what? There's no league. The URL was not a thing. There was nowhere to do that. That wasn't a thing that happened. So I think it's turned into that now. But I also think that there's still a lot of really great battle rappers that exist now that still make music. It's just maybe they haven't hit with their music in the way that they'd like to, but they've hit better as battlers. It's interesting to watch Cassidy go from being a radio pop rap recording artist that was doing songs on urban radio and charting, and now he is actually like seemingly in the battle rap league and more known for his battles now than he is
almost
his actual
as a top
music.
Dog too.
Yeah. He's also really good at rapping. So that they like, more power to him. It's just interesting to see battling be at a point where a dude that used to chart and go platinum and has hits is actually like, no, let me go battle. I can actually maybe get more money doing battles now than I could doing recorded music. That just wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? So I get it.
But you could argue that that's part of the spirit of competition, the essence of hip hop for him, how important that may be to him though. Right. Because what's his name? The rapper from Russia, the one that he had said in the interview he's like technically by views like he's like the most viewed battle rapper of all time because he's like the top rapper in Russia, but all the rappers in Russia battle rap still.
I don't even know. I don't know who that is. Do you know his name?
I forgot his name, but I know he battled Dizaster. But anyways, okay.
That's my goat, by the way, is shout out to Dizaster. You got to interview Dizaster. Did you interview Dizaster?
No, I've talked to him though, you know, but he's not really doing interviews like that. But, you know, I feel like he's one that you got to kind of build up to, you know what I mean? Yeah. you gotta kind of build up to, but
Dizaster is the best thing about Dizaster is the person that he is in battles is the person that he is in real life. That doesn't change.
Right.
The cameras don't turn off and the mics turn off and then you get a different version of Dizaster. He's my favorite battle rapper of all time. And if you send him this, it'll talk him into doing the interview. He's a fascinating person, man. He's he's
definitely in my top favorites too, man.
Yeah,
like, for sure. Yeah, he's definitely up there.
Well, the thing I like about what he does though is when you talk about the spirit of competition and the spirit of hip hop is like Dizaster has reached the highest heights that you can reach in American battling. So now he's going like global with it and going to other countries and battling people in other languages and like he's trying to communicate his message and his.
Nobody's done what he's done though.
If 100%.
If you're going to keep it 100%, because when I talked to him, he told me that too. He's like, who else has battled in like, I don't know, 8 different languages now or whatever, however amount of languages it's been that he's done. Right. Like nobody's done that. It's crazy.
Nobody's done that. And to me, it's so dope because I see him post about this all the time and he'll be in, Lebanon or he'll be in the Philippines or wherever he's going. And he's like, the thing about Dizaster that is so dope to me is he will not turn anybody down. He doesn't care. Like he needs incentive to battle, but just from a competitor standpoint, he will battle you right now in your language, in front of your parents, whatever you want to do, he's with it. And that, like, to me is the ultimate battle rapper. And like, I saw him in person battle Nocando. It's the craziest rap battle I've ever seen in my life. It's I don't know if everybody that was there took the same experience from it that I did, but watching Nocando and Dizaster battle in person, I've seen a lot of battles, dude. That was there was real bad blood there. There was tension in the air. The room is just something that you cannot describe to anybody. And they did a 1-round battle, one apiece, and both of them had like 20% of their round written and the rest of it was off the top. And the bars that are off the top and the bars that are written, you'd never be able to tell because they're so fucking crazy to watch. And they were just killing each other. And I remember before the battle, we went out to dinner. It was me, Awkwards, maybe Lush, and Dizaster went out and grabbed dinner before the battle. And I remember Dizaster was talking about he's going to battle Nocando, and he said, he's like, I don't really have much material. I'm just going to go out there and trust my skills. And I saw in him, he's different. This dude, like the way that he approaches battling is he's not sitting there with a million pages of lyrics, pre-planning the whole performance. He's just showing up to compete against you, and he's going to get in the trenches with you and go to war with you, and you better bring it because he's coming after you. And I remember seeing that being like, that's so fucking dope that all this dude wants to do is go out there and be the best battle rapper that he can be. And he'll take on any competitor, any language, any country. It doesn't matter. And it's like, nobody's doing, like you said, nobody else is doing it at that level.
I know that a lot of people are gonna talk shit in the comments about Dizaster because it's like a very extreme perspective. People either love him or they hate him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna say this though, like people talk about going on other people's home turfs, like, oh, there was East Coast bias, there was West Coast bias. There's motherfucking country bias. Going into other people's countries,
bro. I'm telling you,
battling. So like,
I'm telling you,
come on, man. Like that's insane.
I'm telling you. And not only is he going to other people's countries, but he's not toning down his lyrics when he battles. He's not saying, like, he's not softening up the message. He's going to show up and talk whatever is politically relevant to him, whatever it is in your country, doesn't care. That is a battle rapper. He represents what battling is supposed to represent. And he's a very polarizing figure. He always has been. Like, that's the thing about him, is he's never had like a unanimous level of love in the culture. People fucking hate Dizaster or they love Dizaster because he's so completely transparent with who he is and how he feels. He's very, very, very imperfect and very talented and very special as a rapper.
Speaking of Eminem, there's a reason why Dizaster is Eminem's favorite battle rapper, though. Like, and you can't really tell him shit about it. That's what Royce said. Royce the 5'9" said that specifically.
He said Dizaster's Eminem's favorite battle rapper.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Say no more. I feel validated in my pick. Pat, Stay, Dizaster, like that. Those are my two favorites. I think like they're just the greatest.
Well, at one time you did say you liked Math Hoffa a lot too.
I think I did like Math Hoffa a lot. I don't think that I do now. I'm not a fan of the podcast. I'm not hating on him. It's never been a show that I really liked. And then I think there was a while
for what reason though? Like, because there's just too many people, or?
Nah, it's not my format. I don't feel like I've connected with the topics. Maybe as far as does he make the show anymore? Is that like,
they shut it down for a little while because the barbershop that he was recording out of, there was some problems. Like, they wanted to get rid of him from there. So then he had to find a different space, but it's been a changing of like his co-host constantly. So, that's been a problem.
You know what it is, man, is I'm not a fan of any show where, kind of like what you were just saying, if there's like 6 different microphones and like, I don't watch the Joe Budden podcast because like, I don't like shows where there's voices. I need a conversation, 1 to 2 people, maybe 3 sometimes, but I like a one-on-one conversation. It's a give and take. It's a balance. If it's a fucking room of people and people are laughing and yelling and interrupting each other, like, I will very quickly become disinterested in it.
But that's what's kind of cool about podcasting, right? It's like everybody can find their taste. There's so many different styles,
for sure.
But I agree with you. Like, for me, like when I watch like podcasts, like I'm trying to get information, so I like the one-on-one aspect, or like the more like intimate. Like I'm trying to like get information. Like I don't want like so many people talking at one time where it's like overwhelming. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like it's just a little too much.
I think so too. There's an art to it, man. There's an art to conversation, and to me, I've never been a fan of listening to people where it sounds like we're in a living room and there's 4, 5 different people and we're all drinking and talking. Like, to me, that's not something I can focus on. I just, like you said, man, there's plenty of choices out there. So, it's cool that people like that, but like, to me, it's just not really my thing.